round of the NWAC tournament is well underway. Two teams have already advanced to the semifinals tonight. We're set to send another pair of teams to the semis. The 6 p.m. game features the Columbia Basin and Whatcom. The nightcap will have the defending champions from Clark College taking on Yakima Valley. Today's game is sponsored in part by Red Lion Hotels, the Washington National Guard, Alaska Airlines, Baden, the Snohomish County Sports Commission, Holiday Inn Everett, and by Everett Community College. We come to you live from the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College in Everett, Washington. This is game number 3 of the 2016 Northwest Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Lafferty along with Brad Baxter. Today's game featuring the Columbia Basin Hawks at 14-14 and the Whatcom Community College Orcas at 21-9. The winner of this game advances to the semifinals tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, taking on the winner of tonight's second game between Clark and Yakima. Losers head to the consolation round, play the loser of that same game at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Brad Baxter bringing you and talking about, I don't care where you are, whether you're playing 5th grade girls or you're playing in the NBA, it's March Madness time.
Yeah, you know, this is, and we talked a little bit last time you and I did a game down at Shoreline in Edmonds. All you want is a seat at the table. And we got a team here tonight in Columbia Basin, comes in at 13-14 into the tournament. They get a win in the first round. They're moving on to 14-14 here, but they're still playing basketball, and there are a lot of teams not playing basketball this time of the year.
Let's take a go ahead.
I was just going to say, so that's what it's all about for these guys, is to just keep playing as long as you possibly can.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Columbia Basin. They will start Arik Wren, a 6'4 sophomore. They'll also start Makai Hurai, a 5'8 sophomore. Also in the starting lineups, Andrew Redout, a 6'3 sophomore, averaging 22.1 points per game, the 5th leading scorer in the NWAC this year. Also in the starting lineup for Columbia Basin will be Dustin Petrogallo at 7.5 points per ball game. And rounding out the starting 5 for Columbia Basin will be Brad Scott at 11.2 points per ball game. So Hurai, Redout, along with Petrogallo, Scott, and Eric Wren will be the starting lineup for the Columbia Basin Hawks. For the Whatcom Orcas, they start Leif Anderson, a 6'1 freshman. Also Dion Thomas, a 5'8 freshman. Matthew Seymour, a 6'3 sophomore. Dalton Lutens, a freshman at 6'5 out of Linden Christian High School. In fact, a pair of Taylor Barr also is the other starter. Taylor Barr out of Delta High School in Delta, Utah, is at 6'3", and he is a sophomore. So those are the starters for the Whatcom Orcas. Their head coach, David Dunham, Anderson, Thomas, Seymour, Barr, and Lutens. And the starting lineups have been introduced, and we are ready to go. Reese King, Bill Draper, Michael Chun are the officials. We're ready for some basketball to get underway. Just now finishing up the starting lineups down on the floor, and we will be ready to go. And when you take a look at the Whatcom Orcas and the Columbia Basin Hawks getting ready to go. Rolando Garcia, the 6th year, the head coach of Columbia Basin. David Dunham, his 3rd year head coach of the Whatcom Orcas. Brad Baxter watching the game before with the black numbers on the black uniforms. This is the way it should be. This is the way God intended basketball to be.
Black jerseys with a light gray and white jerseys with a black.
That's what I want. It'll make it easy tonight, and here we go. We're set for basketball. This is the Elite 8, the quarterfinal round, and looking for a chance to get into the Final 4. Already advancing this afternoon was Spokane. They advanced with a win over Chemeketa, and also Big Bend with a win over Highline, already in to the Final 4, which will happen tomorrow, also right here on STSPN. We're set to go. The ball is ready to go up into the air. The Orcas in white, and the Hawks are in the dark. It looks black, but it's really very dark navy blue. And it'll be Whatcom will have it to start things out. Dion Thomas, top of the key. Thomas out of Kent Ridge High School. They'll swing it over to the left-hand side. Usually high-scoring ball games. And here's a 3-ball on the way, and that's going to be a miss, no good, by Matthew Seymour out of Thunder Mountain in Juneau, Alaska. Now quickly up the floor, bringing it up is Columbia Basin, dumping it into the corner. The Columbia Basin moving to our right, going in, dump a pass over, and a miss there. A miss by Andrew Redout out of Granger High School, Granger, Washington. averaging 22 points per ball game, and he's going to try to get his first points of the ball game at the free throw line right here.
Columbia very aggressive there to start. A couple drives into the lane, and one dished out, came back around. The shot wasn't there. Second time, aggressive, picked up the foul, go to the line and earn them.
Logan Schilder is the guilty party on the foul. That's his first personal foul, first team foul. First free throw is good, and the first lead of the ball game goes to Columbia Basin, with the first free throw good by Andrew Redout, and he will get another. Ready to put the ball in the air, and there it is. It's good. So 2-0 lead for Columbia Basin. Whatcom had a shot at a three on their first possession. And now they'll move to our left in their white uniforms. Very dark navy blue numbers and lettering. That's Deion Thomas with the basketball out by the center line. Looks right. Seymour back to Thomas. Leif Anderson. So as they work the perimeter, then falling down with it is Deion Thomas, and the ball goes out of bounds. The last touch by the Orcas. So a miss on the first possession and a turnover on this possession, and so far the Orcas 0 for 2 with the basketball.
It was a nice pass down low to Logan Schilder, and he just couldn't get his hands around it, and it went off him, and it's going to go the other way.
So waiting for the inbounds. Been a great day of basketball all day. The women's quarters were yesterday on Thursday here at Everett Community College. The men's quarters here after some consolation games earlier this morning. Games all weekend long. If you're in the area, stop on by. Here's a turnaround jumper for a three that will not go, but the rebound on a reload now for CBC. It won't go as well. The first miss came off, and then they had a chance for another, couldn't do it. Deion Thomas will be the point guard for Whatcom as they again work the perimeter. Goes to Anderson. He turns around from 15, won't go. And CBC grabs the rebound. That's Petrogallo who grabs it out of Kamaikan High School in Kennewick. A lot of Tri-City guys on this Columbia Basin located in Pasco. Clapping for the basketball, that meant to mean it's going to go in, and it did. Bradley, when you clap your hands, does that mean it's going in?
That means you have enough time to be wide open and pitch your tent in the corner, and that's exactly what happened. They had them all wide open. Leif Anderson down there in the corner. Actually, it was going to go the other way.
It
was
Eric Wren,
in the corner.
Puts it up and in, and it's a 5-point lead for Columbia Basin. Whatcom yet to dent the scoreboard. They go down low to the big guy, and he can't handle the basketball. Taken away from Logan Schilder, and then almost knocked out of bounds. But again, here is another three that's up, and it is good by Dustin Petrogallo, the 6-foot freshman, the number 6 leading three-point shooter in the NWAC, and it's an 8-point lead for CBC. I'm not sure what the skunk is, if there's a skunk rule, but Whatcom going to have to put up one up. Deion Thomas says, I'll try. I'll miss, but I'll try. And the rebound controlled by Columbia Basin as they work it to the left baseline. Now all the way across to Wren again. He'll pull up. May have been partially blocked there, but surrounded by black shirts from CBC, and they'll set up the offense again with a new shot clock. 30-second shot clock in men's college. Going in under the backboard, won't go for Harai, then blocked out of there. But a reload again. The CBC keeps just getting the basketball back after some pretty good heroic defensively. That one's blocked, but picked back up and put back in by Brad Scott out of Southridge High School in Kennewick.
Well, it's just a great testament to Columbia Basin there as they just stayed with it the entire time. 3 blocked shots and an offensive rebound, but they finally pick it up and pick up the points to go the other way.
Getting a correction on the starters for Whatcom. We were given 42, but it was really 22, and we saw that for Whatcom. Taylor Barr and Isaac Reimer. Here's a putback, no. And we're going to have a foul called. First foul on the other end now. And they will call this one. It'll be on Columbia Basin on Brad Scott. The 6'6 freshman picks up the foul, his first personal foul, first team foul. 16-14 to go in the first half, and a 10-point deficit facing Whatcom. Can they get their first points in the ball game at the line? They do. First one is up and good. They'll get another. Logan Schilder out of Bellingham High School in Bellingham, Washington. 7-footer. Next one by Schiller. A little flat, won't go. Bounces out of there, and another rebound grab by CBC. Harai on top now, Petrogallo. They work the perimeter down for a shot that's going to be an air ball. That's going to be a miss from the left baseline and cleared out here by Whatcom. The Orcas with the basketball moving to our left in the white uniforms. Right side, Anderson tries to dribble between the defenders, and then it's going to be picked up there by Schilder, but then a jump ball called. So the simultaneous possession and the possession arrow favors the CBC Hawks, so they'll take it.
Well, early on, Whatcom game plan is to get down low into Schilder and work on Brad Scott. 3 or 4 times they've brought it down low to Schilder, and the last time it worked on the foul, but this time they turned it over.
Almost looked like a travel, no call. That one looked like a travel, but they're going to call a foul. They're going to say no basket. It happened on the deck. Looked like 2 travel calls, but they're not going to get either one. It's going to be a foul, and it's going to be called against Whatcom's Isaac Reimer, the 6'7 sophomore's first personal foul, second team foul. We haven't had a sub yet, have we?
Not that I've seen.
No, I don't think so. Inbounds for Columbia Basin, leading it 10-1. Here coming up at the 15.5 minutes to play in the first half. Bounce underneath, ball's on the deck, and it's going to be picked up there. Grabbed by grabbed by Whatcom as they bring it up. Dion Thomas. Now to Anderson. Little entry pass, but then a kick back out for a 3 that will not go for Matthew Seymour. And a reload here. Finally, a rebound grabbed down by Whatcom. They'll reset the offense. Thomas, entry pass down low, same play, won't release this time. Back it goes to Anderson, dribbling in. Looked like he double dribbled. He picked up the dribble, bounced it one more time, put it up, and put it in. The first field goal of the game for Whatcom. Comes from Leif Anderson. Now CBC up by 7. 14:35 to play in the first half. Right side, Harai. Bounce pass, looking for a power bounce pass underneath, and he couldn't handle it. And picked off by Anderson there, and Thomas brings it out of backcourt. That's Anderson. Back to Thomas again. Swing it over for a fake on a 3 by Seymour, didn't take it. Back over left side to Anderson. Back to Thomas now. 13 on the shot clock. They go inside to the big guy, and he just rolls one in. Isaac Reimer out of Linden Christian High School. The 6'7 sophomore puts it in and cuts the deficit in half. It was 10-0. It's now 10-5. So a little scoring drought here for Columbia Basin. Actually, what's happened is the defense is picked up for Whatcom. And they're going to call a travel this time. Isaac Reimer is called for the travel. And we'll step aside for a break. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
My counseling, she helped me plan out an entire educational plan, actually showed me more classes that I could take here at CBC to save me money instead of taking them at a larger university. Here with high school students too, so you're not only getting part of that high school experience, but you're going further and beyond that and getting a college experience, which is really cool and fun, and you're gonna expand your horizons.
Company retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Guys, teamwork takes practice. And some days will be a little turbulent. But if we stay focused and show our customers that we care. Now that's giving our best. Best!
Sir, for your safety, please remain seated.
Yes, ma'am.
Giving you our best never stops. Thank you for flying Alaska.
13 minutes and 50 seconds to play here in the first half of action after the immediate timeout. Columbia Basin and Whatcom. Whatcom out of Bellingham. Columbia Basin in Spokane. CBC, their head coach is Rolando Garcia in his 6th year. Went to Northwest Nazarene College. Got his master's at Washington State. In the previous 7 years, he was the assistant women's coach at CBC. He was the 1A Player of the Year at Grandview High School. Do you know that? Rolando Garcia.
I did not know that, but I do now.
The Whatcom Orcas have it. Their head coach is David Dunham. We'll tell you about him as we go along. 10-5 lead for Columbia Basin. Deion Thomas. No look pass right side. Anderson, no. Back to Thomas again. Shortest guy on the floor gets the rebound. They're going to call a foul. Again, the officials today, Reese King, Bill Draper, and Michael Chun. And they'll whistle this one. Common foul on Brad Scott gets it, his second personal foul. And the second team foul. Out of bounds now for the Orcas out of Whatcom. Checking in for Columbia Basin will be Casey Kelly out of Meridian High School in Meridian, Idaho.
Scott's going to go to the bench now with 2 fouls, and that's a big loss because he had 17 points in their regional opener.
Thomas misses. Outlet pass up the floor for CBC, and the lay-in is good by Arik Wren. Out of Chiawana High School in Pasco, Wren races the floor, and he gets it. Opens up a 7-point lead again. Columbia Basin is led by as much as 10 in this ball game. Thomas with it for the Orcas out of Whatcom. Here's a 3 on the way. Got hit after he released up and no good. Seymour with the 3 ball. He's talking to the official saying, he got me right on the knee and it hurt.
Leif Anderson with a great individual effort there to go up for the offensive rebound, and as he was going, well, he didn't come down with it. He stayed up with it. It was tipped back, but got fouled, and so he'll go to the line for an opportunity for 2 shots here.
Leif Anderson out of Seaholm High School in Bellingham, staying close to home. Hits the first free throw. Double score here, 12-6. Checking in for Whatcom will be Quinn Doherty out of Homer, Alaska. Homer High School, Homer, Alaska. Isn't that where Paul or Tom Bodette is from?
I have no idea, but he'll leave the light on.
Yes, he will. And we should probably say that because Holiday Inn's one of the sponsors of the tournament. So never mind.
We didn't say who he works for. We just said he'll leave the light on.
He'll leave the light on. He's from Homer. What do you want? We'll take that all out in post. Left side now for CBC. It is a work it down low. Surrounded by white shirts, and then going in amongst the tall guys is Andrew Redout. Now he's going to go to the free throw line. Redout at 22.1 points per ball game. He's going to go to the stripe. It's a 5-point lead for Columbia Basin. The foul is going to be on Casey Leak, his 6'7" sophomore, his first personal foul, 3rd team foul. Casey Leak out of Mount Vernon.
Redout with 19 points in their win over Lower Columbia. Interesting fact here is that he played all 40 minutes of that ball game.
Really?
Didn't come out.
He's going to see what he does here. At 22 points, you probably just about have to. First team NWAC East Division. First free throw was no good. For Redout, a 79%er at the line. The numbers would say that one will go, and it does. 13-7, CBC leading Whatcom. We're in the semifinals, or excuse me, the quarterfinals. The Elite 8 going in. Power move to the rack. Count it, and 1 for Logan Schilder. I think when he gets ahead of steam up, just best step out of the way.
Yeah, and Logan Schilder got that one about the 3-point line and took a couple steps, and you saw it almost forming in slow-mo as you knew he was going to the lane. There was a couple of black jerseys that tried to step in his way, and he split them, laid it up and in with a nice finger roll, and he's going to not make the free throw to complete the 3-point play, though.
He won't, but it closes it to a 4-point lead now for Columbia Basin, 13-9, with 12:24 to play in the first half. CBC with a couple of new players. They play the weave now. Redout goes in and it loses handle of the basketball. May have been tipped from behind, grabbed by Schilder. He outlets it up the floor, and here comes Whatcom. A 3-ball pulls them to within 1. Will they get it? Let's try it. Here it is, and it's going to be an air ball. That's no good. Connor Kelly from Ike Eisenhower High School in the Yakima misses and cleared out by CBC. They'll try to answer on the other end with a 3. That won't go. Offline right, a miss there by John Wohl. And here comes, no, excuse me, it wasn't Wohl. It was Cardell Jones out of Prosser High School, the Learn to Play High School. As they work it down low, kind of not sure what to do with it, kicking it back out. Now Leif Anderson. To the top of the key, Quinn Doherty. The corner, Connor Kelly. Kind of a 3-guard offense running here. Here it goes with 3 on the shot clock. It's going to be a miss, no good by Connor Kelly. Then they're going to say it touched out of bounds up above, and so it'll be given over to Columbia Basin. 11 minutes, 27 seconds to play in the first half. A 13-9 lead for Columbia Basin over Whatcom. And here comes CBC. The very dark navy blue uniforms with the light blue numbers moving to our right. Step through by Redout. No, foul called. They're going to say he was not on the way to the hoop, although if you watch Andrew Redout, he's always on his way to the hoop.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty nice move as he initiated contact there and got the foul called. In NBA, that's a continuation. He's going to the line, but you can also take 26 steps in the NBA, and it's not a travel. So
that's true, too. So foul was called on Doherty. That's his first personal foul. 4th team foul. Out of bounds now for Columbia Basin. No, they're going to say he was standing out of bounds. Stepping on the out of bounds line. So a turnover gives it over to Whatcom. That's 5 turnovers for Columbia Basin, 3 for Whatcom. CBC, 13-9 leaders, 11 minutes and 5 seconds of play in the first half. For the Orcas, Quinn Doherty. Now to Kelly, back to Doherty again, top of the key. They'll swing a pass over the left-hand side to Seymour. Back to Doherty, Seymour again, up fakes for the 3, no. Now to the right side, a little runner won't go. A miss by Kelly. Connor Kelly with the miss. Cleared up by Columbia Basin. Arik Wren. As Whatcom steps out on defense. They go down for a spinner that will not go. A miss by Redout. And a foul called on a try for the rebound. I think it's going to be whistled here on Jordan Weems. Yeah, he was the only Columbia Basin Hawk in the neighborhood, so they're going to call him for his first personal foul. 5th team foul. Jordan Weems out of Mount Spokane High School. He's a Wildcat in Spokane. 10:23 to play in the first half. The Elite 8 round of the NWAC Northwest Athletic Conference men's basketball tournament. Down low they go. Power move to the rack, put it up. Casey Leake puts it in and pulls Whatcom. They're going to count the basket. It's now 13-11, and a free throw makes it a 1-point ball game, and it looked for all the world like Columbia Basin was going to run away with this thing.
Yeah, CBC has switched into a 2-3 zone, and that time, or the last few times down the court, they've kind of held Whatcom out around the perimeter and not getting a good shot. This time, Whatcom attacked very quickly, made a couple of quick passes and then an entry pass and attacked the basket, and it ended up in a 3-point play for him to draw within 1.
Within 1 at 13-12. Kind of slowly but surely they pulled back here in this first half. Right side, Cardell Jones. Here's an open 3. Wide open for a 3 was Justin Anderson out of Loyola High School in Missoula, Montana. And he makes it a 4-point lead again for CBC at 16-12. Now Whatcom will try to pull back again. They got to within 1. Connor Kelly. Boy, it almost looked like he picked up the dribble. Kind of directing traffic there out the left-hand side. 8 to shoot. To the right side, do they know? Down to 4, down to 3 to shoot. Out on top, a cast-off that rattles deep in the well and comes off with just 1 second to go on the shot clock. Matthew Seymour with the miss. And now Columbia Basin tried to take advantage and quickly down the floor for a 3. That is an air ball. But it's kept alive by Redout. Back out for a release for another 3 try for Arik Wren. That one won't go. And the rebound controlled by Whatcom. Down by 4, 8:56 to play in the first half. Clearing out with his hand is Quinn Doherty. Out a leak. Connor Kelly. Kelly dribbles into the foul line. Back out and saved. Retrieved there by Doherty. Up fake, down to 4, down to 3 to shoot. He goes through, blocked out of there, and grabbed by Columbia Basin. Off the block, Columbia Basin try for some early offense. Here's a 3, no. Safe from going out of bounds on his own shot is Justin Anderson, and they'll reset the offense here. 8:20 to play here in the first half. A 6-point lead for Columbia Basin. They're looking for more. as they'll go down to 16 to shoot, and there's a steal. Taken away by Whatcom. Bringing it up, Connor Kelly goes in. Off balance shot will count, and he got fouled on the way up. And we will take a break. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament. Let's just hold the phone here. Should be the timeout. It is a timeout on the floor. You're watching STSPN.com.
The Guard has over 50,000 wheeled vehicles in action. The vast fleet of Humvees, troop transports, and fuel tank trucks are always moving soldiers, gear, and equipment around the world, or delivering aid to civilians during domestic emergencies. Transport operators are essential in getting the Guard to where it needs to be.
He told me,
Sure, you'll be a nurse.
sure, you'll teach design.
Sure, he'll go to college when penguins fly.
Side by side from now on. You and I can fly away from here.
I'm a Clark College Penguin.
I'm a Clark College Penguin.
Watch me fly.
Watch me fly.
Watch me fly.
Are you ready to fly? Visit us at clark.edu/penguinsfly.
Low-scoring affair here. First half so far. Columbia Basin with a 16-14 lead over Whatcom.
Yeah, 5 for 16 shooting for CBC for 31% on the other side of the ball. 5 for 18 for Whatcom for just 27%. Technically 28 if we round it up, but you know nobody can see the numbers on the calculator like I can. So, and there's nothing like math when nobody can see what you're talking about.
That's
so
exactly right.
Lots of opportunity though. We're just not getting the shots to fall on either side.
Connor Kelly has got one more free throw here at the line for Whatcom. Kelly out of Eisenhower High School in Yakima. On the way and good. It's a one-point ball game again.
Blocking foul that time whistled on Leif Anderson. That time Justin Anderson. He had pretty good position, but he actually kind of almost took a little bit of a flop, and he probably would have been fine without moving. He probably wouldn't have had a foul called, but when he went down, he kind of stuck his leg out and drew the foul.
So Columbia Basin with a 1-point lead, and they'll play the weave. Top of the key, Anderson. Now he'll head down and put it up. Won't go. Surrounded there by Whatcom Orcas, and here come Whatcom and a chance to take the lead for the first time in this ball game. Calling the play is Deion Thomas with his right hand. Goes across the top of the key, and then he dumps it down low, and they're gonna call it a foul. As he got it down to Logan Schilder, and he could never really find the handle on it to go strong up. So he just stayed down low and gets fouled, and he'll have to, 2 free throws here. By 1 and 1 puts him into the bonus.
8th team foul now, so Logan Schilder's going to go for 1 and 1. That time they got the ball down low. They've got Andrew Redout for CBC guarding Schilder. Redout's listed at 6'3". Schilder's listed at 8 inches more than that. So that time they just went down low and turned it into an opportunity from the free throw line.
So the first free throw goes, makes it 16-16. Will it be the first lead? It will not be the first lead, and it's our first tie of the ball game. A 16-16 tie, 7:26 to play. First half at Everett Community College, the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center, the NWAC men's basketball tournament. Game 3 of 4 for the quarterfinals. A miss here by Columbia Basin, and now a chance for Whatcom to take the lead. Deion Thomas calls the play. Just yells it out. Well, this play means they're going down to Reimer. He just kind of powers his way in. The hook won't go, and he will have to earn him at the free throw line. Got fouled on the way up. The whistle, the foul. Arik Rand will pick up the foul. Second personal and the 9th team foul. So 2 shots here for Isaac Reimer. First one good. First lead of the game for Whatcom.
Reimer that time moving across the lane from right to left, kept his right arm out, switched the ball over to his left hand and kind of flipped it up, didn't get it to fall, but drew the contact on the right side, so he went to the free throw line where he hit the first.
So Whatcom with a 17-16 lead. Whatcom coming in at 21-9 during the regular NWAC season. Columbia Basin all even up at 14 and 14. 2-point lead for Whatcom now. First lead of the game. Columbia Basin with it now. They like that weave action, and then going in, won't go. That's a miss by Petrogallo, but reload here for Columbia Basin. They'll try it again. Petrogallo in the corner. They go over to the right side and releasing the shot. That's a miss, no good for Redout. He got fouled on the way up. And a couple of shots coming up here for Andrew Redout. Two shots for Redout. The foul.
Anderson was the guilty party there as he just kind of stepped into him right as he was releasing that shot. Redout did a good job of drawing that contact as he kind of brought his arms up and around and made sure that he hit Anderson as that shot was being released.
18-17 Whatcom. Next free throw could tie it. He does. Our second tie of the ball game, an 18-18 deadlock here. Very low-scoring community college basketball game. But as we mentioned, not very good shooting percentages so far. Left side, Deion Thomas. Looking to Schilder. Now they go to Reimer. He's going to back down to a little give and go. Schilder puts it up a little, maybe partially blocked out of there. And a foul will be called. I think maybe, no, it's going to be Thomas. Deion Thomas with the foul. And Thomas, that's his first personal foul. And the sixth team foul whistled here against Whatcom. 6:07 to play in the first half. Columbia Basin with the basketball.
Columbia Basin averaging 80 points a contest. Whatcom 79 points a contest.
They're not going to get there at this rate.
Take the under. Take the under.
How about a three? That's going to be a miss. No good by John Wall. And the rebound controlled by Whatcom. Thomas between the circles. Dribbles it kind of into trouble, so he kicks it back out. Back at Anderson. He'll go and dribble into trouble as well. Spins once, spins twice, puts it up, no good. Saved by Thomas, no. Stepped on the out-of-bounds line. A good try there for Deion Thomas, but the basketball will belong to Columbia Basin. An 18-18 tie. 5:29 to play in the first half. The winner to play either Clark or Yakima Valley tomorrow in the semifinals at 8 o'clock. You can see that right here on STSPN as well. Redout looked at the three, probably should have taken it, almost stolen there by Thomas. In fact, it is stolen by Thomas, and then picked up there, the loose ball grabbed by Schilder, and Thomas will bring it out of backcourt for Whatcom. Knocked away for a moment. Down low it goes. Schilder off the window and in. Logan Schilder out of Bellingham High School. 7.8 points per ball game. All defensive NWAC team member in the North Division.
Pretty textbook big man move there. Took a couple dribbles facing away from the hoop and little 180 spin up, bank shot up and in.
On top they go. Redout. Foul called. Before he started the dribble, Redout got fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line. And Deion Thomas will pick up the foul. That's his second personal foul. And the seventh team foul. And a timeout on the floor. We will take a break with 4 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the first half of action. It's a Whatcom 20, Columbia Basin 18. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com. Choose every community college every year. You know the answer, Bradley?
Because it's close.
At every community college, faculty know your name. They care about your future. And you know what you can do? You can register now for spring classes.
And it's close. I did spend some time on the Everett Community College campus.
I have as well. You want to?
This building wasn't here then.
No.
In fact, they played about 4 blocks south in an old World War II airplane hangar, it looked like at the time. But
yeah. Register for spring classes at everettcc.edu. So free throws here for Andrew Redout out of Granger High School. Granger Wah. 4:34 to play in the first half. First free throw is good. Pulls Columbia Basin to within 1. Tom Lafferty along with Brad Baxter. Steve Willett's down on the floor. He'll get coaches' interviews coming into and out of halftime. See what the coaches have to say about this very low-scoring game. Whatcom just at 20. So is Columbia Basin. Yeah, you're right. Take the under if you're a betting man here. Just for entertainment purposes only.
Of course.
Leif Anderson. Play catch with Quinn Doherty. Doherty between the circles. Left side Seymour. Doherty. Back to Anderson again. And that's going to be Leif Anderson. Drains it out of Seaholm High School in Bellingham. Averaging 8.8 points per ball game. And buries a 3-ball and gives Whatcom the lead again at 23-20. Their biggest lead of the game. Kind of using the shoulder to clear some space there was Justin Anderson. Excuse me, while I put the ball up and in. It pulls Columbia Basin to within 1 again at 23-22.
Kind of a half-hearted full court press by CBC. They've done it the whole game, but
they don't really have their heart into it.
No, they really don't.
Anderson hit the 3-ball though last possession. Cross court, Doherty back to Anderson. 4 to shoot. Dribbling in, blocked from behind, foul called. They're going to get Andrew Redout for it. Kind of bailed him out because they were down to about 2 seconds on the shot clock as he was elevating. Seymour was to try for the shot. Matthew Seymour out of Thunder Mountain High School in Juneau, Alaska. At the free throw line, the foul was on Andrew Redout, his second personal foul, 10th team foul.
Coming off a 31-point performance in the opening round of the tournament.
And I think he's going to head to the bench for the rest of the half, I'm guessing, with the 2 personal fouls. And so Rolando Garcia, the 6th-year head coach, says, let's just have a seat.
Yeah, no need to pick up a third.
No, not a tight ball game.
Yeah.
You want him the whole way.
You've
all
already
40.
got Brad Scott sitting on 2 fouls as well. So when your 2 leading scorers get 3 fouls before the tournament, or before the halftime, puts you in a bad spot.
Whatcom by 3, 25-22, 3:15 to play in the first half. Looking at the 3 there was Justin Anderson. He just kind of readjusts and then sends it and won't go. The 7-footer grabs the rebound. Logan Schilder says, point guard, you take it up. Doherty will bring it down to back court. Now Anderson turning, facing, and firing it up and in is Isaac Reimer. Well, it took a while for Whatcom to get their sea legs here, but they've opened up their biggest lead of this first half. They were down by 10. They're up by 5, so a 15-point swing here in this first half of action. And now CBC will try to answer on the other end. Here's a 3 on the way, too long. That's a miss by Torrey Jones. And the rebound controlled by Whatcom. Could open up their biggest lead of the game. 2:22 to play in the first half. On top, Doherty. Then that's Anderson, rattles one home. Justin Anderson, he is pumped up because it is now an 8-point lead for Whatcom. That's an 18-point swing in this ball game. And we had them buried and gone in the first about 4 minutes of the basketball game.
Well, CBC came out with a lot of energy attacking the hoop, and Whatcom has kind of settled down on the defensive end, and that's turned into points on the offensive end as Schilder gets another block.
Another block, and Brad Scott, maybe one too many moves. Take the ball up.
Well, and that's probably what they need to start doing to Schilder. Scott has to be a little bit careful sitting on 2 fouls, but they're going to need to get Schilder out of the game because though he's scoring points, he's a bigger threat on the defensive end right now. And there's another block.
Another block. Trying it again. Surrounded, not getting any help under there either. Brad Scott was a lonesome cowboy down there. He had nothing. He had 4 white shirts and no blue shirts down helping him.
Well, good job by Brad Scott that time to just keep attacking.
Yeah.
Schilder kept turning him away, and he kept coming up with the basketball. Finally gets the foul called on Schilder. Now that's going to be 2 on Schilder, so I'm assuming that they'll probably pull him here pretty quickly as the subs come in now.
First free throw is good. Schilder will go to the bench. Casey Leak will take over. One Skagit County player takes the place of a Whatcom County player. And another free throw here for Brad Scott, and it is good. 30-24 the score. They're going to hold things and put some subs in. Redout comes back out with 2 personal fouls.
And Scott sits. So they don't have the underneath threat anymore with Schilder sitting out, so they're going to sit Scott and try to attack on the offensive end up around the top. Redout's a better pure shooter.
See what the Orcas do on this possession. Whatcom leading at 30-24. A minute and a half to play. 15 on the shot clock. Travel call. They got it down low to Casey Leak, and he traveled with the basketball, commits the turnover, and it'll get it right back over to Columbia Basin. CBC out of Pasco, right there by the airport. They come into front court now. Harai goes awry, won't go in, and goes out of bounds. But they say last touch here by Whatcom, so it'll be Columbia Basin basketball. They keep it with a fresh 30 on the shot clock after the miss. Redout will throw it in, baseline. Harai again. Back over for a turnaround jumper that goes a little bit too long. That was a miss by Petragallo, and it'll be Whatcom basketball. Coming up at a minute to play in the first half. As they work it, Whatcom with it, 16 to shoot, 54 on the game clock. Down low, turn, face, won't go. Back up, well, that's blocked out of there. Reimer, but they'll reset the offense here as the Whatcom Orcas keep it. 24 to shoot now. Down low, little double pump. No, they travel with the basketball. That's twice. Casey Leak has traveled on consecutive possessions. Turns it back over to Columbia Basin. 30 on the shot clock, 38 on the first half clock.
Good defensive clampdowns last couple times down the floor for CBC as they've turned away Whatcom now on successive trips.
Redout, 23 to shoot. He'll bring in the corner for a corner 3 that will not go. A miss there by Harai, but Redout will grab it. And now the shot clock is dead with 21 seconds to play in the first half. The lead is 30-24 for Whatcom. Down to 15 to shoot. 15 in the quarter. Now down to 10. Redout with it in the half. Down to 9, down to 8. Redout still with it. Still on the dribble. Down to 6, down to 5. He releases from 17, won't go. And grabbing the rebound there for Whatcom is Casey Leak. And the first half will draw to a close. And we're going to hear from a coach here in just a moment. And it's going to be the Whatcom Orcas coach, David Dunham, we should hear from here in just a second. Whatcom with a 30-24 lead over the Columbia Basin Hawks. And we're going to hear from the head coach here. Steve Willits is down there. Everybody's making their way out and having a little discussion out here before they head to the locker room. And we're going to get a comment. Let's go down to Steve.
Thanks. I'm with Coach Dunham right now. Coach, goodness, ever since then, defense is playing great.
I thought at that time we had them right where we wanted them. We when we wrote the game plan on the board, we said, let them get to a 10-0 lead, and then we'll work our way back and play twice as hard as we really needed to. So, yeah, I mean, that's not the way you draw it up, but I know there's a lot of nerves going on both teams, and so once one team settles down, well, really both teams settle down, we'll get to where we really needed to be. And this is not where we want to be as far as the score is concerned, but we're playing under control. The shots will start to drop.
You've got the lead, so good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, and I think we might have another guest here in just a minute as I look around right now. Oh, he didn't quite make it over here. Let me see what I can do here. As if you can keep the camera on me for one moment. Coach Mark Poth from Big Bend with me right now, too. Coach, congratulations on punching your ticket to the semifinals.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
What are your thoughts on the first half of play from what you've seen from these two teams?
Well, CBC came out. They're shooting the ball like crazy. I think it was about 10-zip or 10-1. Whatcom has such great size, though, and they have two big kids and even another one they bring off the bench. And if you can't create tempo and it's a quarter-court game, it really slides to their advantage. So, CBC's not shooting extremely well, but it's a great game to watch.
You've got Spokane tomorrow night, a game that we're also going to broadcast right here on STSPN, a team you're very familiar with, same division. You split during the regular season. What's that game going to be like?
Well, actually, we played them preseason in the North Idaho tournament the first time, and they beat us in overtime, and then we swept them in league. So two teams that are very equal. We kind of had the jitters today. I think we're going to come out and play a lot better tomorrow. But Spokane is definitely one of the top teams I've seen in NWAC, and it's going to be a real challenge for us tomorrow.
Well, good luck to you tomorrow night in that game, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
So again, Big Bend versus Spokane tomorrow. We'll be having a broadcasting that game right here, STSPN.
You bet we will. Our score at the half, Whatcom 30, Columbia Basin 24. We'll come back, take a look at the stats, and have more. We're at halftime. Again, the Whatcom Community College Orcas leading the Columbia Basin Hawks 30-24 at halftime. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
It's all around us. It's the ground upon which we stand. The well-worn paths, and the ones that haven't been forged. It's our history, and our what lies ahead. It's ours to nurture and to protect. We're a force for community and for country. We have the skills to define our future and our nation's future. To make a stand. For our way of life. And we will so promise back into the land of the free. Individually, we're trailblazers. Pioneers, preservationists. United, we are the keepers of the dream. And we are on guard.
Welcome back to Everett Community College, the Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center. At the half of the Elite Eight, game number 3, it's Whatcom 30, Columbia Basin 24. Let's go down to Steve Willits on the floor with the head coach of Columbia Basin, Rolando Garcia. Steve.
Thanks, Tom. I'm with Rolando Garcia right now. Coach Garcia, 10-1 start for the game. You got off to a hot pace, then it slowed down a bit. What'd you tell the guys at halftime?
Well, they're 6 of 29 from the field. They got 6 more shots made than I do, and I don't have any, I don't play. So hopefully we can make our shots. They got to be confident. Setting good screens. They're a big team. We got to knock down every possession. We got to make sure it counts.
Defensively, you've held them to 30 points. Are you feeling good about the way the team's played on that side of the floor?
Yeah, we had some missed, opportunities, but 30 points. You should be leading the ball game, but. Hey, it all boils down to, they want it more than us right now, but we got to knock down some shots.
All right, 20 more minutes. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Tom, I'm going to wander on over here for a second if I could, too. As we're looking across the floor here, the coaches have the best seats in the house, right? You would think.
Yeah.
I think I might have found somebody that can trump them, though. I'm looking over here in the corner. There's a plush couch, Subway signs everywhere. The Subway couch is over here right now. We got the photographers following us and everything right now. We've got some folks from, Whatcom Community College?
Yeah.
How did you get these seats?
We won it in a contest.
So there's a contest going on right now. Anybody who comes to the gym in the next couple days, they can put a ticket in. If their name gets drawn, they get these great seats. They also get 6-inch Subway sandwiches. You guys doing okay? I mean, you can see the floor okay, right?
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
The couch is comfortable. You can't beat these seats. Hey, if it comes down to the last second, they're going to be able to see every single play. Every tip-in, every dunk. They're the lucky ones. Back to you guys.
Let me guess, you're staying there too.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, you can't beat the comfort here. I think it beats the stools you guys are on right now.
And free sandwiches too?
Well, they get a free sandwich. I unfortunately got here a little too late, but if anybody comes here the next few days, they do get a free 6-inch sub if they sign up.
There you go. The Subway Fresh Take Seats Couch, or whatever you want to say. Tom Lafferty along with Steve Willits down there on the floor. Brad Baxter up here on the press level, the mezzanine level. And Brad, you got the stat sheet in front of you. What do you see?
I don't have free subs, but I've got a lot of numbers in front of me. Let's take a look at them. First of all, for the Columbia Basin Hawks, as a team, 6 of 29 from the field, 20.7%. From the three-point line, 3 of 15 for 20%. But from the free throw line, they were good on 9 of 10 attempts for 90%. That's keeping them in the ball game individually. The 7 points of Andrew Redout led them. They had 5 out of Eric Wren and Justin Anderson. They had 24 total total rebounds. They turned the ball over just 7 times. On the other side of the ball, the Whatcom Orcas, they had 9 of 27 shooting, 33.3%. From beyond the arc, 2 of 9 for 22.2%. And from the free throw line, 10 of 13 for 76.9%. The 8 points of Logan Schilder, that's rebounds. The 10 points of Leif Anderson led them. Schilder had 6 points to go along with his 8 rebounds, 3 offensive, 5 defensive. He also had 3 blocked shots. The team had 19 total rebounds en route to their 30-24 first half lead.
The winner of this game advances to the semifinals tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, taking on the winner of tonight's second game between Clark and Yakima Valley. And here we go. And on the alternating possession, controlled by Whatcom, and immediately they put it up and in on a little play down low for the hook shot up by Isaac Reimer, and the lead is 8 points at 32-24. Whatcom equaling their biggest lead of the ball game. Then an answer on the other end there for Brad Scott, puts it up and in on the lay-in, and it's 32-26, 6-point lead. Just underway, second half. Glad you're with us here on STSPN. Release for a 3 in the right side, no good by Seymour. And they're going to say jump ball, held ball, and it'll go the other way. It'll be CBC basketball. Columbia Basin, the Hawks out of Pasco, the Whatcom Orcas out of Bellingham, Washington here. Looking for a chance to play in the second semifinal tomorrow night. The first will be between Spokane and Big Bend tomorrow at 6 o'clock here at Everett Community College. Trying for 2 in a row down the floor. It won't go for Brad Scott. Controlled by Dion Thomas for Whatcom. They'll quickly bring it into front court. Leif Anderson now back down low, back out a little feet out for a 3 that won't go for Anderson. Fell down as he let go of the basketball, and the rebound's going to be controlled by Columbia Basin. Hawks with the basketball moving to our left in the very dark navy blue uniforms, light blue numbers and white trim moving to our left. Shot on the way, that rattles and goes. So a couple of trips down the floor, and Brad Scott will put that in. He averages 11.2 points per ball game during the regular year. Thomas brings it up. Gets it again. Stops and pops from 13 and puts it in. Dion Thomas out of Kent Ridge High School. 34-28, 6-point lead for Whatcom. Coming up on 2 minutes into the second half. And a trip to the semifinals on the line off of Redout. No, they're going to say last touch by an Orca. So it will be Hawks basketball. Redout will throw it in at the baseline.
Thomas with quick hands there, poked it out. Good defensive play by Dion Thomas.
Looking on the inbounds, and it's going to go to Scott. Redout. He dribbles into, no, they're going to, you say the other way, and they're going to call a foul here. An offensive foul, player control foul on Redout, and that's going to be his third personal foul.
Well, he did lead with the shoulder a little bit. I thought the travel probably would have been a better call at that point. It didn't. He wasn't out of control, but he did clear a little bit of space. But the ball never lies, and it's going to go back the other way anyways.
Yeah, the Orcas are going to turn it over on that possession. But yeah, 3 personal fouls on the leading scorer for Columbia Basin. Here's a 3 ball that won't go. That from the right side there by Petragallo. And the Orcas will clear it out. Whatcom really picked up on their rebounding as well after that opening stint when it was a 10-point lead for the Columbia Basin Hawks. Miss and then a rebound. Grabbed by Isaac Reimer to Dion Thomas. He'll set up the half-court offense with 23 seconds to shoot. Anderson. Now again to Reimer. He kind of powers his way in and then dumps it down lower for a higher percentage shot up and in for Logan Schilder.
I don't think Schilder was expecting that. I think he was going in for the rebound from Reimer's shot, and he kind of took one to the face but was able to get it up and in.
Brad Scott got 6 points in this half so far, and it's 36-30. Whatcom by 6. Just over 3 minutes into this second half. Dion Thomas, they like to work the perimeter. Now it'll go to Reimer, back to Thomas again. Right side Seymour, Thomas, 4 to shoot, or excuse me, 7 to shoot now. Partially blocked from the shot clock. Down low to Reimer, foul call. Got way deep into the shot clock, and now going to the free throw line will be Isaac Reimer out of Linden Christian High School.
So they're going to put it on the ground, say before the shot.
Oh yeah, he's not going to shoot.
Got triple teamed.
Well, they're talking about it.
Oh, that was a good conference by the officials to get it figured out. And they are going to send him to the line.
Yeah, they thought I'm not so sure he was, but he is now. And free throws coming up here. Isaac Reimer, a 76%er at the free throw line. First one won't go. Averaging just over 9 points per ball game during the regular year. 7 rebounds for Reimer. Next one for Reimer goes. Opens up a 7-point lead for Whatcom. They've led by as much as 8. Columbia Basin jumped out to a 10-point lead to start the ball game. And Whatcom has battled all the way back to have the lead, and then almost Columbia Basin lost the ball. Redout says, you got to be kidding me. I thought the number 11 guy was the last to touch it, and he wasn't. Dion Thomas credited with the steal. And he brings it up. Dion Thomas out of Kent Ridge. To the top of the key. Back over they go. Now down low to Reimer. He'll just back his way in. And the sky hook will rattle out and won't go. And the rebound will be grabbed by Petragallo for Columbia Basin. CBC brings it up. Petragallo himself. Brad Scott's had a hot hand here. Boy, he looked at about an 18-footer and didn't take it.
The problem was he had 7-footer between him and the hoop.
Yeah. Back out for a 3. No, offline. Won't go. Missed by Arik Wren. And that 7-footer right there, Logan Schilder picks up the rebound for Whatcom. 15:30 to play in the second half. 37-30 lead. Anderson for a three. Yes. Drops it through. Leif Anderson. And what was a 10-point lead for Columbia Basin is now a 10-point lead for Whatcom. A 20-point swing in this basketball game. Red out. He may just try to take over in this ball game. He's a leading scorer. Now he turns and spins and shoots an air ball. And Reimer grabs it. A little more energy in the legs here for Whatcom as they quickly bring it out of backcourt. To Thomas, right side Seymour. Now to Reimer, wide open, but doesn't take the three that time. It'll just be a little runner that won't go, but Reimer grabs it in amongst a whole bunch of tall guys, but it's going to be knocked away from him, blocked from behind by Brad Scott of Columbia Basin, as CBC will bring it up. Wren. Little stutter step fake there for Justin Anderson, then a release that won't go. Kept alive there into the hands of Wren. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. We're at 14 and a half minutes to play in the in the second half. Red out, 18 to shoot. Back out, nope, bad pass. Wasn't expecting it to go way out on the top side, and Justin Anderson just kind of lowers his head, and we're going to have a timeout on the floor with 14 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second half of action. Our score, it's Whatcom 40, Columbia Basin 30. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
My counseling, she helped me plan out an entire educational plan, actually showed me more classes that I could take here at CBC to save me money instead of taking them at a larger university. Here with high school students too, so you're not only getting part of that high school experience, but you're going further and beyond that and getting a college experience, which is really cool and fun, and you're gonna expand your horizons.
Lead for Whatcom over Columbia Basin. Centralia College is your college for associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and job training. Apply now to get a jump on classes and financial aid. Application is easy and free. You belong at Centralia College. Visit centralia.edu for all of the details. It was a 10-point lead, Bradley.
It is a 10-point lead.
Yeah, but it was the other way. They completely turned this game inside out.
Yeah, CBC came out riding their momentum of being a 13 and 14 team with a seat in the dance, and they came out and just shot to an 8-0 and then a 10-1, 10-2, 12-2 lead, and ever since then, Whatcom kind of clamped down on the defensive end and got Schindler involved a little more, and since then it's been a little bit more of a half-court game, and that is definitely playing into Whatcom's game plan.
Here's Deion Thomas. I'll give to Anderson. His runner off the window and in, and that's the biggest lead for either team in this ball game, and the lead is a dozen for the Orcas out of Whatcom. And now Columbia Basin will try to answer here. They got to see if they can have a comeback in them. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Almost a steal there by Thomas. He gets a 5. Thomas, the shortest guy on the floor. Schilder, the tallest guy on the floor. It was more of a low 5, medium 5. Inbounds, overplay on the defense, almost taken again. Down to 16 on the shot clock. 13:47 to play in the half. We're in the second half here at Everett Community College in the Elite 8 of the NWAC Men's Basketball Tournament. On top of the key, Arik Wren. They'll work it over to Anderson. 6 to shoot. Anderson, now here is Scott. It won't go, rattles off, but a reload here. Here's a turn and spin. Didn't have to shoot that fast. I'm not sure he knew that he hit the rim there as Anderson grabbed it off that miss by Scott. And now they're going to say it was a turnover, and it will be Orca basketball. Whatcom will have it.
Jump ball.
No, jump ball.
Tied up underneath there, and Whatcom with possession.
The Whatcom Community College Orcas with a 12-point lead. Deion Thomas calls the play. Leif Anderson out of Seaholm. Goes around a huge big screen there, set by his Whatcom County running mate. Now dribbling it in a little bit closer and back, and Seymour puts it up and it won't go, and the putback no, and a foul call. At the end of the game, you're still 7 feet tall, grabbing rebounds.
Yeah, it certainly helps when they've got Brad Scott out there, and they list Brad Scott at 6'7" or somewhere in there 6'6", but he's the next closest out there. They've got Cardell Jones at 6'3", and when you're giving up 4 or 5 inches every time on guys, not just in height, but those arms are a little bit longer too. So it's really hard, when you're constantly battling over the height, and Brad Scott's got a couple fouls on him, so he's trying to be a little bit careful, and it's a tough battle.
So Cardell Jones picks up the foul, his first personal foul, and the third team foul. A couple of missed free throws there for Schilder, and now Columbia Basin with it. Down low, trying for a reverse lay-in. That won't go for Cardell Jones. And the baseline official didn't see who had knocked it out of bounds, but the topside one did, and they'll say it belongs to Whatcom, and they will bring it up. Again, Reese King, Bill Draper, Michael Chun are the officials for this game. Deion Thomas will bring it to the baseline and dribble it all the way out of bounds at the baseline. Turns it over, give it right back over to Columbia Basin. Columbia Basin down by 12 here, but they proved just at the outset of this ball game that they can score in big, huge bunches.
Yeah, they've got some shooters definitely, and the one with the ball is definitely one of their shooters. And then Brad Scott came out in this second half, and he's been on fire. So they've got some guys that can put some points on the board. They just got to get some good open shots and start taking advantage of them.
And you got to hit a rebound if you're Andrew Redout, because he missed that point-blank one. But Deion Thomas has played pretty good defense on him the latter parts of this ball game. There's the sky hook up and in for Logan Schilder. And it makes it a 14-point lead for Whatcom here with 11:56 to play in the game. Now CBC, Redout. Thomas is on him, and they're going to call a blocking foul. Thomas went down, but he's going to be called for the blocking foul. And one of the officials having a little conference there with Redout.
Well, Redout and Thomas have been going at it last few trips up and down the floor, and it started actually when they were posting up Reddit. Thomas was playing him, and Reddit was giving him a little bit of extra business, and the official was watching definitely. We're going to get another foul on Thomas, a tripping foul, so that's going to be 2 quick fouls on Deion Thomas.
Yeah, I didn't even tell you that it was the third personal foul. Now it's a 4th personal foul, yes. And Deion Thomas.
That's the quickest way to earn your way to the bench.
Yeah.
1 second comes off the clock and you pick up 2 fouls.
The first one I get. The second one, he didn't have to do it. So inbounds here. Nice pass, but they can't complete it there. It was a beautiful pass to Brad Scott, and then he couldn't handle it, but he gets bailed out by a foul here. So Whatcom is just picking up fouls by the handful. And this one is going to be whistled on Quinn Doherty. That's his second personal foul, 3rd team foul. Free throws here for Brad Scott. First one, no good. He's a 58%er at the free throw line out of Southridge High School in Kennewick. 11.2 points per ball game for Scott during the regular season.
Well, when the clock is stopped and you're needing to score points, the easiest way to do it is from the free throw line, and Scott missed them both.
Missed them both, and the rebound controlled by Whatcom. He's got 10 in the ball game. Scott does. Kind of caused that almost a turnover. He was right there. So he is really awakened here in this second half. But do they have enough? Columbia Basin down by 14 points, a 24-point swing in this game. Redout with it for CBC. Jordan Weems. They kick it back out. Cardell Jones goes in, a little power move to the baseline, and the ball went out of bounds. Well, Columbia Basin started heading the other way because they knew they knocked it out of bounds, but the referee had pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, when the blue team goes to the other end of the floor, I think that's usually a clue.
Yeah, What's your first clue? So out of backcourt, here comes Whatcom, leading by 14 points over Columbia Basin. Isaac Reimer way out high post, guarded by Redout. Dribble, spin, dribble, lay-in. Just how they draw it up. For Isaac Reimer, averaging just over 9 points per ball game out of Linden Christian High School. Now Columbia Basin will try to answer. The lead is 16 points for Whatcom. The loser to the consolation round, the winner goes into the semifinals tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here at Everett Community College. Here's Scott. Step through move, no basket, foul call. Schilder, the guilty party. He goes and kind of slaps against the red pad at the end of the floor with Trojans emblazoned on it. Here on the home floor of the Everett Community College Trojans. And free throws coming up here for Scott. The foul was called on Logan Schilder, his third personal foul, and the fifth team foul. First free throw good for Scott. Brad Scott gets another. His 11th point, so right at his season total, season average. Schilder goes to the bench with 3 personals. That takes your 7-footer off the floor. And in his place, Dalton Lutens out of Linden Christian. So Reimer and Lutens, both out of Linden Christian High School. On the floor for Whatcom. Next free throw is good. And it's 46-32 Whatcom. 10:27 to play in the second half. Leif Anderson. Now Seymour. Starts the dribble, looking for down low. They find him. That's Reimer. Reimer backing in, kind of using his bulk, and then back out for a 3 that rattles off and won't go for Seymour. And the outlet pass up the floor, going in, laying up, good. Some early offense there. Cardell Jones out of pressure, lays it up and in, and we're under about 9 minutes and 55 seconds to play here in the second half. Leif Anderson double teamed. He never really got to the timeline, and then a foul is going to be called. He didn't like it. Cardell Jones, and he'll have a little chance to stew on it as well, because we're going to step aside. With 9 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the second half, it's Whatcom 46, Columbia Basin 34. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at National Guard. Company Retreat with Chief Football Officer Russell Wilson.
Drum circles are all about getting in sync with your teammates. And when we're in sync, it shows in how we focus on our customers. Faster, friendlier, and higher customer satisfaction.
Sometimes you have to improvise to meet your customers' needs.
Giving you our best never stops.
Everybody clap your hands. 9:49 to play in the game. The Whatcom Orcas have a 46-34 lead over the Columbia Basin Hawks, and it's Whatcom basketball.
Like Columbia Basin is feeling the sense of urgency at this point.
And here's Columbia Basin going in, laying no good by Doherty, but a reload here. Leif Anderson grabs the basketball. Now they're starting to place a little tough defense here. He goes around and dumps it down to Reimer. Reimer will just use his bulk and put it up, and it won't go. And Redout grabs the rebound. Here comes Columbia Basin. Long down floor pass. Couple times they've done that. Ooh, yeah, they're going to say it's going to be off of a CBC player and out of bounds.
Reimer got his hand up there for Whatcom, and Brad Scott was down there, and the official was right there. So, I mean, he probably had as good of a view as anybody in the gym, because it literally happened about 2 feet in front of his face.
Leif Anderson for Whatcom. leading by a dozen. Back over for Anderson. That's a three on the way, and it goes. A three up and good for Leif Anderson. Averages 8.8 points per ball game out of Seaholm High School. He's got 18 in this game. So maybe a candidate for player of the game.
He's 4 for 6 from beyond the three-point arc.
Wow. Left corner is Scott. Ball knocked away from him. Knocked away by Connor Kelly and grabbed by Whatcom. It's a 15-point lead now for Whatcom, their biggest lead of the game. There's Anderson going in, double pump, blocked from behind, hammered from behind. No foul, ball went out of bounds.
That knee in the back, that's not a foul.
No.
No, when you go down to the ground.
Looking for the inbounds, way out top side they go. Connor Kelly. He'll bounce it down, feed right back out to the top of the key. Back down low, no, it's going to be taken away. Knocked away as they bring it up the floor. Makai Harai nearly had it stolen. Out goes a red out. No look pass, nicely done. Down low they go. Brad Scott with a lay-in up and good off the pass from the top of the key.
Beautiful pass by Red out that time as he was sliding across the top of the key to the right. Found Brad Scott down low, open, easy bucket with the beautiful pass from Red out to Scott.
Cross court. Near side, Connor Kelly. Boy, he's got to have traveled. Yeah, he did. Connor Kelly out of Eisenhower High School in Yakima travels with the basketball, commits the turnover, and it'll give it right back over to Columbia Basin, down by 13 points.
Last 5 minutes, you would think that Columbia Basin has really controlled this ball game. You think they'd be closer, but every time I look at the scoreboard, it's still in that 13 to 15 range, and they're just not making hay on their own offensive end of the floor for the stops on the defensive end.
There's a force-up that won't go as Cardell Jones went down after he let go of the basketball. No call. The ball cleared out by Whatcom, and the Orcas will bring it up. Leif Anderson on the dribble. Whatcom can drain some time here. We're in. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. They went to Isaac Reimer, and I think he's going to be it. Yes, 4-2 White. That's Isaac Reimer out of Linden Christian High School. Just his second personal foul and the 6th team foul.
And the Oscar goes to Brad Scott.
Not saying he flopped, but he
embellished.
The embellishment. There you go. So here comes Columbia Basin down by 13. Harai and a foul call. Trying for the steal there was Isaac Davis out of Burlington Edison High School. Davis picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul and the 7th team foul. And Redout goes to the free throw line. Andrew Redout.
So 7:15 to go in the contest, and you're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way out.
First one is good. Can Columbia Basin climb back in? 7:15. And they're in the bonus the rest of the way. And only 4 called so far on Columbia Basin. Next free throw, good. 49-38, the lead is 11. Can they get it into single digits here? As we're at 7:07 to play. Anderson up faked once, then goes in, and it got nowhere to go. So we'll swing it back out. They'll reset the offense, looking for Reimer. He's double teamed there. Reimer puts a ball on the deck once. Then he's fighting to keep the basketball. They're going to say he traveled. And then Reimer is griping to the official about no call, no foul, no nothing. Didn't do much good. He didn't get the call, so. But can Columbia Basin take advantage? Down by 11.
Well, Columbia Basin has definitely seized momentum here, but they need to take advantage of the opportunities and start putting points on the board on all these trips down the floor.
Schilder's going to come back in, the 7-footer, on the next dead ball. There's a turnaround release for a 3 by Petrogallo that will not go. And a foul is going to be called on Columbia Basin. Trying to come out of back court. And it's going to be whistled here on Cardell Jones for the CBC. His third personal foul, fifth team foul. And Schilder returns to the lineup.
It's a big addition to have Schilder back in there because it allows Reimer to slide back over to his power forward spot. The offense can do a lot of different things.
They try to force it in. They do. They get him. He puts it up. There you go. Exhibit A right there.
It's nice to have a 7-footer on your squad.
All defensive end as well. Shot on the way. Clear out. There you go. Gets a rebound. Has the ball knocked away from him. Picked it up. Grabbed it himself. Tried to get rid of it. Now there's a scrum for it. And the jump ball called, and it's going to favor Columbia Basin. The alternating arrow will favor CBC. They'll have it at the baseline.
I think we're looking for a broom or a mop.
They've got it one on this end. But there you go. Coming out. NWAC staffer will come out. And try to dry things up on the floor. Your kids are on the path to reaching their dreams. Why not join them with more than 60 programs of study at Pierce College? There's a fit for you, your life, and your schedule. Find your path at Pierce College today. Visit Pierce.
Got it.
Pass the ball.
Pierce College. 6:08 to play, and the lead is 51-38 for Whatcom. Inbounds for Columbia Basin. Andrew Redout dumps it down for Scott. He can't hit the lay-in, no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to force it up, lost the handle on it, and it's going to be picked up. Grabbed by Whatcom. Isaac Davis will bring it up himself into front court. A couple of fairly decent looks there for Columbia Basin. They couldn't capitalize. That is Matthew Seymour. Now Leif Anderson wearing number 1. Redout is on him. Down to Schilder, and he gets fouled. Schilder just about quadruple teamed.
And we get Brad Scott for this one. He'll pick up his fourth now.
So now what are you going to do if you're Rolando Garcia? Roll the dice with him, the final 5:34?
Yeah, you got to leave him in there. You're down by 13, and really the story of the second half has been lack of knocking down opportunities.
And Whatcom has been the opposite, and Matthew Seymour drains that 3 ball, and it's out to a 16-point lead, Whatcom's biggest lead of this game at 54-38. That shot won't go. Schilder grabs another rebound for the Orcas. And Whatcom will bring it up. 5:05 to play in the game. 18 on the shot clock for Whatcom. Anderson looked cross court. Now they swing it right side to Davies. Back down. 7 seconds to shoot. 3 on the way. Rims out no good. Back up and in for Reimer.
And that's going to be 5 on Scott as well.
Yeah, Scott's going to pick up the foul. They used about 26 seconds of the shot clock and then put it up, put it in, and we will step aside. With 4 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the game, it's Whatcom 56, Columbia Basin 38. You're watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN.com. What? And don't you think? And I'm guessing Leif. Usually it's Leif. The guy we all know is Leif. Yeah.
Anderson. What's Schilder have? 6, 12.
we're counting up the numbers here, 6s and 12s, and who's going to be our player of the game. But we may go with co-players of the game here. Welcome back, Tom Lafferty, along with Brad Baxter and Steve Willits on the floor. Pat Castro is our statistician tonight. Glad you're with us here from Everett Community College, the NWAC basketball men's tournament. Brad, I've never seen you do your Psy impression doing the Gangnam style.
Well, good thing.
You throw your back out.
Good thing I did. I was going to say I'd pull a hammy if I actually did try to do the Gangnam style. You know, there's just some songs in life that I could have gone a long time without ever hearing again, but they did it to me. They pulled it out here at the timeout.
Isaac Reimer misses the free throw. Redout brings it up. Here's a three on the way. That one goes. It's up, and it is good for CBC's Casey Kelly out of Meridian, Idaho. They're going to need a few more of those now, down by 15 points, 56-41, with 4.5 to play. Now Leif Anderson. Schilder, just classic. Big guy, move down low, back to the basket, turns, faces, puts it off the window.
Yeah, it's tough to defend that when you're 7 feet just like he is, but when you're 6'5", 6'6", it's a difficult task.
Casey Kelly can't connect on that one, but he gets the ball back. Columbia Basin inside 4 minutes to play. And a whistle and a foul, and it's going to be on Isaac Davis of Whatcom, his second personal foul. 8th team foul. So 1-1 here for Andrew Redout. Deion Thomas will check back in, and Isaac Davis will go to the bench. And Redout at the line. First free throw, good. And he will get another. It's 58-42, 3:54 to play in the game. 10 points, all from free throws. That's 11 points from free throws for Redout. No field goals. Wow. He has not made a field goal tonight, averages 22.1, and all at the free throw line. You don't see that. You don't see that very often.
No, and it's been a pretty good defensive effort for a whole host of players for Whatcom to kind of shut him down. But the one that has kind of caused him fits, at least in the second half, is back out there, Deion Thomas, and him and Redout were going at it a little earlier.
Down low is Leif Anderson, kind of wildly down to 12 seconds to go. That's a three, won't go for Seymour. Put back by Seymour, it's in. Ouch. If you're a CBC fan, because that three was off, and then he just got his own rebound and then just put it right back up and in from 10 feet away. And then to add insult to injury, the ball goes out of bounds, and it's a kind of almost an unforced error there for Justin Anderson. In fact, he just pats himself on the chest, said, yeah, that's me. It's the turnover.
Lost the handle there as he was dribbling down the left side of the court.
3:15 to play. 60-43, 17-point lead for Whatcom. Whatcom comes in at 21-9. They're going to move to 22-9, and they're going to move into the Final Four in the NWAC tournament. Thomas almost lost it. He releases over to Anderson, who puts one up, rattles out, won't go, but Reimer grabs another rebound. And we're inside 3 minutes to play in the game. And Whatcom is just having their way here. They're just kind of using time. 20 to shoot now. To Reimer. They'll play tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the semifinals. And who they play will be decided here in the next game. That one goes deep, won't go. Back up, no. And then down to the floor goes Schilder. And to the free throw line will go Schilder as he gets fouled. Boy, they used up about almost 40 seconds there on that possession.
Yeah, they had the ball, and then, maybe even more than that. They went deep in the first possession, and then they got the offensive rebound and went back out and went fairly deep in the second possession, then got a third offensive rebound. And you can't tell your 7-footer to not put it back up when he gets it under the hoop. So that's what Schilder did, and didn't get the hoop but got the foul. Went to the line and made his first. He's about to heave up the second.
Casey Kelly picks up the foul, his third. Next one
I jinxed
won't go.
it.
You did. 61-43. The lead is 18 points. Along the baseline, looked like a travel, no call. Back out for a three. That won't go for Anif Grandison out of Chiawana High School. Into the press table on the near side. Rule number 1, Bradley?
Never sit at the press table.
No, protect the gear. It's been a while since you've been courtside. Yeah, protect the gear. Check your laptop, make sure it still operates.
My rule when I was on the sidelines for football was get out of the way. Protect myself first. Gear is replaceable. I am not.
Deanne Thomas, air ball, won't go for a three in the corner, but the ball knocked out of bounds here by Chiawana. We're at 1 minute and 59 seconds to play. I'm just impressed by the turnaround here by Columbia Basin. By Whatcom. Columbia Basin had a 10-point lead early on. Three, bang, goes Matthew Seymour. And the lead is 21 points for Whatcom. They'll try to answer. Red out. Nope, hasn't hit a field goal yet in this ball game. And the ball goes out of bounds with 1 minute and 43 seconds to go. And I think we're going to go with co-players of the game for Leif Anderson and Logan Schilder. Steve Willits, our colleague down on the floor, as Schilder goes out. Casey Leak checks in for him. Checking in now Connor Kelly for Whatcom as well. We also saw Taylor Barr out of Delta High School, Delta, Utah, will check in. One at a time. Anderson will go off. Quinn Dougherty back in for him, so getting some applause from the family and friends here in attendance tonight. And out of bounds here for Whatcom with a fresh 5 on the floor. And Dougherty bring it up. Quinn Dougherty out of Homer, Alaska on the dribble. 18 to shoot, ball knocked away. It's going to be grabbed by Columbia Basin. Anif Grandison gets it, goes through, puts it up off the glass. No, he's going to get a couple of free throws here. Anif Granderson out of Chiawana High School in Pasco. He's got 2 shots coming up here. Casey Leak picks up the foul, his second personal foul, and the 9th team foul. Minute 24 to go. Grandison, first free throw, rattles and goes. He's a 90%er, limited number.
It was a good strong move by Grandison to take it to the hoop, though, as he had the ball on the other side of the half-court line and took it straight to the hoop. He knew he was going all the way, right into the white shirts.
Next free throw, good. And now Rolando Garcia will make some substitution changes. Cardell Jones checks back in. Redout will go to the bench. And so here we go. Whatcom with it with 1 minute 23 to play. And a big lead, 64-45. That's Dougherty. Out between the circles is Taylor Barr. That's Davies. Davies down low, they go. Trying to split the defense there was Casey Leak. Ball went out of bounds, so it'll stay in the possession of Whatcom with 10 to shoot. 1 minute 3 to play. Casey Leak out of Mount Vernon goes in, laying no good. Rebound grabbed down by Columbia Basin. CBC out of backcourt. Grandison with it. Swings it around the perimeter. That's Grandison again. Goes in, puts it up, and puts it in. 43 seconds to play.
Acrobatic effort there by Grandison as he went behind the back and started to fall down, but got it to go.
Ball swatted out of bounds, out of the hands of Connor Kelly, but it's a last touch by Columbia Basin. So Whatcom will retain possession. 23 to shoot, 36 to go. As they inbound it, Connor Kelly. There's quite a little difference between the shot clock and the game clock, but they're just not going to attack too much. Down to 10 to shoot. Connor Kelly yells for some reinforcement. Give me a screen. Down to 4, down to 3. Long 3 won't go. And it'll be CBC grabs it with 10 seconds to play. And this ball game will draw to a close. With 4 with 3 seconds to go. Down low. They won't take a shot. Time will expire, and it will be the Whatcom Orcas winning it tonight by the final score of 64-47. So Whatcom will advance into the semifinals. They'll play either Clark College or Yakima Valley Yaks. That game to follow here on STSPN. They will have the shake hands line, and then we'll get a word with our players of the game. Brad, your thoughts on this game? What a comeback for Whatcom after being down by 10.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, I don't know if it was just a matter of Whatcom having to settle down a little bit and get to the flow of things, or if Columbia Basin just came out so fast and kind of stunned Whatcom more than anything. And then, once Whatcom got their legs under them and kind of settled down a little bit, they did a great job kind of flipping the tables and going back the other way.
Okay, we're going to go down and we're going to interview them in our Subway Fresh Take interview booth down here. And we're going to hear from our players of the game for the Whatcom Orcas. It'll be Leif Anderson out of Seaholm High School in Bellingham. And another guy out of the Whatcom County area, Bellingham's Logan Schilder, the 7-footer. And let's go down to Steve Willett. Steve.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We have co-players of the game. It's Leif Anderson and Logan Schilder. Leif, I'll ask you first. Andrew Redout had a huge season, averaging 22 points per game. You guys held him without a field goal tonight. Is that something that you guys had talked about before the game in terms of strategy?
He was their big guy. He averaged, I think, like a fourth of their points, a fourth of their assists, and he averaged 10 rebounds. So we thought if we took him away, we'd get a win, and that's what we did.
Logan, big night for you, a double-double. Talk to me about your game plan.
I just know how to be big and play with confidence, and it would all come with that. So,
now you guys are both Bellingham products, as Seaholm and Bellingham High School each, right? Rivals.
City champ.
So they didn't have to go state champs for Seaholm right here. They didn't have to go too far to find you guys. I'm sure you're both aware that Whatcom's never won an NWAC championship. What would it mean for you guys to bring that home?
It'd mean a lot. This season we set a goal to get here, and we've played together. Me and Logan got to play open gyms a lot together, and we would love to bring one back to Whatcom.
Logan, you guys lost earlier this year to Yakima Valley. You didn't play Clark. You guys are going to be watching this game next. I'm sure maybe revenge would be on the mind for Yakima Valley, but does it matter who you play?
It doesn't matter, honestly. We just want to come out and play with heart, and we'll get there. So
Bellingham has a lot to be proud of. 2 local products helping lead these guys into the semi.
Thanks very much to Steve Willits down on the floor, and our players of the game for the Whatcom Orcas, Logan Schilder out of Bellingham and Leif Anderson out of Seaholm High School. Again, the final score, the Whatcom Orcas defeat the Columbia Basin Hawks, final of 64-47. They will advance into the winner's bracket tomorrow at 8 o'clock into semifinals against either Clark or Yakima Valley. And the Columbia Basin Hawks will move to the loser's bracket. They'll play tomorrow at noon against a loser of the next game between Clark and Yakima Valley. Thanks for being with us here at STSPN. For Brad Baxter and Steve Willits, I'm Tom Lafferty again. The final score from the Everett Community College Walt Price Sports and Fitness Center. Whatcom 64, Columbia Basin 47. You've been watching the 2016 NWAC Community College Basketball Championship Tournament on STSPN. Good night, everybody.